Michelle sat in her cluttered photography studio, a fine layer of dust on everything but her lenses. A week ago, her grandfather's last gift had arrived, a beautifully carved wooden advent calendar. It was a relic, a piece of family history, and she'd decided to open the first door not out of belief, but out of a sense of obligation. That first gift was a tiny, hand-painted camera. The next day, a handsome, charming travel photographer named Ben had walked into her life. Now, 2 weeks had passed, and the calendar's predictions seemed impossibly true, leading her to Ben with uncanny accuracy. She was elated, but a nagging feeling in her heart was becoming harder to ignore. Vincent, her best friend since they were kids, had seen it all unfold from the sidelines. He had always been there, a constant presence in her life, the one who held a light for her when her dreams felt too heavy. He'd helped her move into her studio, fixed her leaky sink, and sat on the floor with her for hours, silently editing her work. Now, he was watching her fall for a man she'd just met, a man the calendar had seemingly chosen for her. He knew he should be happy for her, but it felt like he was doing it to death, just pretending everything was fine. He tried to tell himself that everybody plays a fool sometimes when it comes to love, but it didn't make the ache in his chest any less real. Michelle, for her part, was trying her best to focus on Ben. He was kind, attractive, and everything the calendar promised. They went on dates, they laughed, they talked about their work. But at the end of every night, her thoughts drifted to Vincent. To the way he remembered her coffee order without asking, the specific tilt of his head when he was thinking, the warmth of his presence. She tried to push it away, but the feeling was relentless. She kept thinking, like a song stuck on repeat, "Oh, I can't get you out of my mind." It wasn't fair to Ben, and it certainly wasn't fair to Vincent, but she couldn't stop it. The more she tried to follow the calendar's path, the more her heart seemed to pull her back to where she had always belonged. Christmas Eve arrived. The last door on the calendar stood waiting. Michelle, with a knot in her stomach, opened it. Inside, there was no gift for Ben. There was a small, perfectly preserved photo. It was a picture she had taken a decade ago of Vincent, laughing freely as he fixed her bicycle chain. On the back, in her grandfather's familiar scrawl, were the words, "Love finds its way home." The truth hit her with the force of a tidal wave. She had been chasing a future created by a calendar when her real love had been standing right beside her all along. The calendar hadn't been about finding someone new, it had been about opening her eyes to the love that had always been there. Without a second thought, she grabbed her coat and raced through the snowy streets to Vincent's apartment. He opened the door, a mix of surprise and worry on his face. Tears welled in her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Vincent," she sobbed. "I was a fool. I thought the calendar was leading me to a destination, but it was just guiding me home to you." Vincent's expression softened. "Michelle, what are you trying to say?" "I know I messed up," she said, clutching the photo. "But if you don't know me by now, please, let me show you who I am. I'm a mess without you. All I want is to be with you. Let me prove my love to you." A smile spread across Vincent's face, a radiant, genuine smile she hadn't seen in weeks. He wrapped his arms around her and held her tight. The magic wasn't in the calendar, or in the perfect stranger, it was in the steady, patient love that had always been a part of her life. He didn't need proof. He had always known. It was all a matter of time. On Christmas morning, they sat together on his couch, a quiet peace between them. The Advent calendar lay on the coffee table, a beautiful, empty testament to the journey that had brought them together. As the first light of Christmas morning streamed through the window, Michelle reached for Vincent's hand, her fingers intertwining with his. The lyrics of a new song played in her head, a promise for their future. "Now that I've finally found my love, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours."